There are 3 data points worth noting in a new CNN poll on the state of the Republican race. Data point number 1. Those Republicans saying they would never vote for Donald Trump went from 16% in May to 23% now. Data point number 2. Trump's favorability rating among Republicans fell from 77% in May to 67% now. And data point number 3. He dipped from 53% in a 2024 matchup in May to 47% now. Now, any one of those data points on their own isn't particularly concerning for Trump, but taken together, and considering that the more recent CNN poll was conducted following his second indictment of the year, they suggest that there is at least the possibility that the former president may be losing rather than gaining momentum in the 2024 race. Now, to be clear here, Trump is still the frontrunner to be the nominee. While Trump only took 47% of the vote, he still led Florida Governor Ron DeSantis by 21 points, and no other candidate even cracked double digits in the poll. And even when factoring in the CNN poll, Trump is still, on average, over 50% of the vote in the primary, according to numbers maintained by Real Clear Politics. The polling in early states like Iowa and New Hampshire is a little bit more scarce, but generally speaking suggests the race in those places mirrors the national picture. Trump with a clear lead, followed by DeSantis, and then the rest of the pack significantly further behind. So, Trump is the leader. The question for Trump and the rest of the field is trajectory. A close look at the trend lines in the race suggests Trump is headed downward, albeit very slightly. Now, the theory for the case for all candidates not named Donald Trump in the field has long been that at some point, the collective weight of all the controversy surrounding the frontrunner will add up. That, although Trump has weathered past storms and even benefited from them, there is a tipping point coming from which he cannot and will not recover. Now, if you are of that mindset, there's enough in the CNN poll to give you at least some hope. Particularly concerning for Trump and his team should be the fact that less than 70% of Republicans now view him favorably. That could well be the first sign of real cracking in Trump's iron grip over the GOP, an early warning sign that he is in fact weakening some. Now, if that is true, and I genuinely think we need more data before we can feel comfortable in that conclusion, then there are a few things that we need to watch for. Thing 1, what does Trump do? Trump had, in the race to date, enjoyed a relentlessly upward trajectory. His lead over DeSantis and the rest of the field has steadily increased as the year has worn on. We know that Trump is an obsessive poll watcher. Does he freak out if the data suddenly suggests his candidacy is not as Teflon as it once looked? Does he fire aides? Does he, in other words, do the sort of stuff that makes him look less like a frontrunner? Then there's thing 2. What do Trump's opponents do? So even if Trump is weakening, a problem remains for the rest of the field. There are just too many of them. Yes, more Republicans want someone other than Trump than want Trump in that CNN poll. But while Trump's vote is unified behind him, the other vote is split at least 8 ways. That may not matter today, but as we get closer to actual votes, the more the anti-Trump vote is split up, the more advantageous for the former president. What I'm most intrigued by is whether small cracks in Trump's bid for the nomination turn into big ones. To date in his political life, Trump has been remarkably adept at turning losses into wins, mostly by never admitting he lost. He's been able to weather things, the Access Hollywood tape, January 6th, you get the idea, that would have crushed other politicians. The question now is whether the weight of so many scandals and so many legal entanglements, with the possibility of more legal entanglements on the way, over so many years is slowly but surely crushing Trump. Whether these cracks, made evident by the CNN poll, are evidence of deep structural failings when it comes to Trump's support within the GOP, or are they simply minor breaks that, in the end, won't amount to much, that remains to be seen. Like I said, I think we need more data before we can start to draw real conclusions about whether his slippage is a real thing. So what? What's clear today is that Donald Trump is in a less dominant position than he was even a month ago. What's far less clear is whether any of his opponents can actually take advantage of that fact.